Hello world. I have not updated a video for a long time. This is because I was on a really hard journey, and of course, as you know, it's all about EMF sensitivity. But during that time, I have cut out a lot of things, and I almost died twice. Yeah. But I'm glad I didn't. But during this time, I was able to figure out what it was. Now, it took about 1 year. The last time I was at the emergency was in late 2023. Then again, in early of 2024. From there, I was able to figure things out because my doctor thought it's all in my head. And of course, the things that it's described and the things I discovered, it's out of this world. Especially when it's a 19 plus years journey. And as of today, February 9th, they still don't think that EMF sensitivity is actually a cause. And it is not real. It's because they don't count energy. I'm probably the only person in the world that count energy, because energy is involved in everything. And so it seems is that when it's involved in everything, it's not there for them. But you and all the people who watch this video right now knows that it affects us greatly. But how and why? That was the question of my 19 plus years journey. Remember, they invented the Wi-Fi was in about 2006. And that's where my journey begins. But not until 2008 and 2009, which is 3 years later, that's when I felt these headaches that I'm starting to figure out that it's not, normal. Because when you go to places, you don't have headaches. And when you encounter these things, you get headaches. But anyway, from there, that's where my journey begins. But I knew since 2006. And from there, well, just a little short story. Some people would probably like, oh, you're going to go through the whole story? Yeah, I'm going to go through everything I know, and everything has happened to me, and I don't care if you don't care. If you're listening to this, I could care less. But there's millions of people being affected, and I think I found the answer. Now I'm going to go short, really short, because this video, it's just, I have to make it, but for instance, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm very excited. It happens is that I was in an oral dentist or oral surgeon today, and I have to have my wisdom tooth taken out. And good news about it, there were about 6 cell phones. And all these people were all blah, 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 on the phone. Why? Because no one seemed to be like talking to each other or anything. Only one person was like, oh, this is not a good place. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, kind of. People may be in pain. I was in pain. But I could care less because I am grounded. I am well, when you face death twice, life kind of changed a little bit. So I kind of like talking to him and make fun of things, and he's like, this is a bad place for, talking and stuff because everybody's in, I'm like, no, just, that's them. Most people are that way anyway. I mean, when you're going to the office, or especially a dental office or anything, some people are in pain, but just because you're in pain does not mean it's going to affect other people, or you're going to throw people down, or you're going to make life worse than it is, or miserable for them, you know what I mean? But anyway, because of that, I was able to figure out that, wait a minute, now this has been going on for a while. I was in experimental stage. It's been probably about 2 months now, but I didn't want to make the video because I wanted to make sure. Before I even throw out there, I will throw out there soon, but I gotta make sure that how it's affecting us and what's it affecting us, blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be a long video, and probably gonna be the best video that you're probably gonna get from anywhere, because somebody actually found why it's affecting us, or some of us, and none of other people. Yes, I trace it all the way down to, and I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you on this video right now. It's element. It's involved in vitamins, and it's involved in vitamins and minerals. It is involved in digestions. It is involved in lack of, meaning your body aren't able to digest or produce enzymes or bacteria or fungi. It's actually, we have fungi, fungus, bacteria, and yeast. Yeah, believe it or not, our body actually produce all these forms to actually break the food down, which is called microbiome. I know I'm going too much on this, but anyway, so it involved in that, and because we don't have enough enzyme to break certain things down, we are lack of. So we're lack of a certain amino acid. From that amino acid, which I think, remember I'm still in an experimental stage, or state, I would say stage, because your lack of it, your body can't, they are wrong, and I'll go through with all the video later, of course, that I think they are wrong. They think that we normally produce these things, but we don't, because we lack of enzyme, fungus, yeast, and fungi, and bacterium that actually produce or break the food down, which is the 9 essential amino acid and few more. And from that, somehow it could not surround our mast cells, and it releases, but we don't have enough for the mast cell to release them, or this is the part I'm not too sure of. I will know pretty soon, but I'm still studying really hard. And that's what causes the EMF, the electromagnetic field, to attach. Remember this. The first time in human history, you're going to hear, yes, every frequency I try to attach itself to something, okay? Because in this lifetime, they call valences. Now, let's say you have a 0, right? Let's say just a letter 0, but you need a bigger 0 around it to add more things to it. But imagine you don't have this big 0 around it to add more things to it. And that's what the cause of it. So now I think I found that big 0. So you're going to gain that big 0, and then things aka electromagnetic field or radio waves, or what I call the wigglies, because it's depending on where it is. But anyway, I call the wigglies because I don't know why. But anyway, there's all different form. Now, high form, they call it ionized because they're so close together that they actually can wiggle water apart. That's what they call boiling. When they wiggle water apart, it breaks into H2O. But when these wigglies are so weak, aka 5Gs and 4Gs and 10Gs later, whatever it is, okay? They could not wiggle strong enough. So when they can't wiggle strong enough, you cannot turn water into H2O as steam. Okay? Just in short. Just to how you understand it, all right? Let's say, I'll throw an example for you. Let's say you have a glass of water sits on your table. Now, you have 100 of these wigglies. It's able to attach to one molecule, and then it lifts up in the air. Now we call that steam. Now imagine cell phones can't do that because it's so weak. So let's say cell phone at 5 for 5G, okay? Just 5G. 5 for 5G. You only have 5 instead of 100 of those wigglies. And because of that, it's not strong enough to lift up the water molecule out of your glass. So you do not see steam. But just because you don't see steam, that does not mean that wigglies did not try to attach itself to those water molecules. Even though it tried to attach it, but it's not strong enough to lift it. Because you only have 5 versus 100. And that's what scientists call ionizing. So ionizing is that when 100 of these able to attach itself to these water molecules, and then it moves up and it creates what is known as hot, or aka steam or boiling. Okay? Just it's easy as that. It's simple as that. But of course no one can understand it. No one really explain like I do. But anyway, of course it's a long almost 20 years journey, you know. Gotta figure out something, right? But anyway, so that's how it works. But anyway, go back to the story. I was in the dentist today. All these people were there, and I think like let me see, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, about 10, 12 people, about 12 people. And my friend and I was there because he gave me a ride just in case I get drowsy or something. So, because he knows that I'm EMF sensitive or EMF sensitivity, he did not bring his phone. So now we got 10 people sitting in the room, and then they have Wi-Fi in next rooms and on the office and blah blah blah. And I'm pretty sure the 2 clerk in there got phones there, and there's people in the back and blah blah blah. This is a huge place. Anyway, oh boy, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know how much they made out of that one. But anyway, so all these people going there to get, you know, oral surgery we're talking about here, and they all sitting there on their phones, blah, 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 blah. And I can feel these phones, as you know, and we all, whoever is EMF sensitivity, know exactly what I'm talking about. I can feel them, but I no longer have headaches. And that was the journey that I took 19 years ago to find out why I have headaches at certain places, and then later on I started to feel that when I'm at close to the Wi-Fi modem and cell phones, and I couldn't, you know, I couldn't tell people all this stuff because, you know, some certain people just say I'm crazy. But anyway, I will prove that to the world now. I think I can prove to the world now that we are not crazy. It is It is very simple, but no one was able to figure it out. So anyway, I was able to figure it out, and in that office, I said, oh my God, imagine there's over 10 phones in here, blasting at each other. They all, because they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to talk to the next person next to them. One person actually moved because he thinks it's weird to sit close to people, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, people are really, I'm telling you, for the last 5 years, I took a very special journey because I was so down and I didn't want to tell the world anything because they're going to call me crazy. My body was so low that I thought I was going to die. Well, after that, develop a lot of things and blah, 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 blah. I was able to say to myself, when you face death, things changes. And I looked at him, it's like, whew, you're weird. You should sit next to a human being, and you shouldn't feel anything except for just a person there. And if they're gonna talk to you, talk to the person back. They're gonna say hi to you, say hi back. You don't shy away, or you don't turn away, or you don't block them, or you don't. It is. I cannot believe that I'm talking about human, behave like dogs and cats or like a wild animal out there. It is really crazy. And, but the funny thing is, if I tell people like this, like I'm EMF sensitive or sensitivity, they would call me crazy, or you, or millions of people out there. But anyway, I'm pretty sure a lot of sick people right now too, because there's so much around and they don't know what it is. Anyway, so I looked at myself and I looked at my friend and I said, hey, look around. You see over 10 cell phones in here. And I can tell you right now, I can feel them, but it doesn't give me headaches. I can feel a little bit of things. I kind of missed it, but I don't at the same time because I think I found it. But anyway, so I got into my things and got out of there, and after that I feel really good because I think it's time. I think it's time for me to release this thing out, let people to understand, and then they can get their supplement to help their body, because I believe I found the Holy Grail, quote and unquote. I think I understood now, although it was not 100%, but I am a lot better now. I can go to places. I kind of missed it. I go into the store today after my beat up. I call it beat up. After my beat up, all bloody mouth and everything, and then 4 hours later, the shot that they gave me, the numbing crap, and a shot, like 2 shots, I think, to pull them out. I started to feel really like drowsy and stuff, But anyway, so I went to the store too, the same way, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. I think I am ready, because I don't feel anything in here either. So this is the update for that, and pretty soon I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to have time, like a really good 3 days. I'm going to put it all together, what I know so far, and then I'm going to release that video so that way I can help the world. Other than that, I guess I'll see you guys in that video.